I'm Pete Daniel, and I love to film the wildlife in my home of the Tamar Valley. The Tamar Valley is on the border of Devon and Cornwall. Join me as I show you the wildlife around the Tamar Valley for 12 months.
Well, last time you saw me, I tried to show you my blue-tit chicks fledging the box, but they had beat me to it and had flown the nest. It had all started to happen with the pheasant eggs in the incubator, but unfortunately it didn't go to plan. I set up a camera on the swallow nest down at Dad's workshop on the farm, and of course I see my woodpecker and nuthatch feed their chicks. This week I go back and I check the swallow nest down at the farm. I go to the garden to check my pond with pond cam, as I want to know how my tadpoles is getting on. I revisit an old friend from last year, and I go to see a bird of prey I've not been able to film before. Well, I'm on my way down to the farm now to see if anything's happening in the swallow nest where I set the camera, so fingers crossed.
Right, I'm back at the farm now because I want to check on swallow cam and see how the progress is going with the swallows in the workshop. Right, okay, I'm just setting up the laptop to have a look with the camera into the swallow's nest. I'm hoping to see a bird sitting on the nest. Right, well the nest is empty at the moment, so hopefully there is some eggs in that nest, and hopefully I'll be able to get a shot of the swallow coming back and sitting on those eggs. Because that's what I want to try and show you this year, is the swallow chicks in the nest. So fingers crossed. Yeah. Mum's just come back and sat on the nest. That's brilliant. Right, well there you are, I'm going to leave it like that now. I'm going to leave the bird alone. I'm going to pack up my stuff and make my way out the other entrance. And then come back in a week or so's time and see how they get on. But it's absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Well, the weather started to turn wet in the Tamar Valley. After weeks of dry weather, I don't think our garden is going to mind too much. It's going to do more good than harm, that's for sure. Right, well I'm back at the garden, and it's been ideal this week because we've had a drop of rain. We've had 5 or 6 weeks of dry weather, and it's starting to get a bit concerning for the garden. We ran out of water. Dad had to bring the water up with the trailer, but now we've had the rain to stop the tanks up. It's ideal, and it's done the garden a world of good. But the reason I've come up the garden is I want to check the pond. I'm a little bit concerned about the pond because I haven't seen any tadpoles for a day or two, and the little froglets that I did see about a week or so ago, I haven't seen emerging from the pond. So I think we may have a predator, and I've got a reason for thinking that as well. Right, well I'm back down by the pond and I'm having a good look through the water, and I still can't see any tadpoles in there swimming around. Can't see anything at all. So I'm getting a bit concerned about it. The last couple of weeks in the dry weather, before the rain come, I'd expect it now because this corner here I've left a little bit low. So when the pond gets too high, it just drains off gently. So I'd expect the weed to be coming over the top there. But in the last few weeks of the dry weather, this weed here, this blanket weed, has become sparse and very thin. And I've also seen it dragged over the side of the pond like this. So something, I think, has been coming to the pond and either eating the weed, or it could be taking the tadpoles
all the froglets that's resting in the weed from the pond. And I think we may have a magpie or so, a crow, something like that, come into the pond and taken the froglets. So what I'm going to do in a minute is set up one of my trail cameras on the post over the pond and see what results we get with that. But the first thing I want to do is have a look under the water. So I've got pond cam back again to see if I can see anything in under the rocks or anything. So fingers crossed that we see something. Oh, well, that's brilliant. We've got a baby newt in the pond. That's absolutely fantastic. That must have come off one of the leaves of the weed as an egg when me and the girls went down and picked it up for the pond. That's brilliant. Right, well, that's absolutely brilliant to see that baby newt in the pond. That's fantastic. And also to see the tadpoles in there and they're growing their legs. Everything still seems to be all right. But I'm still a little bit concerned that we got a predator coming to the pond taking the froglets. So I'm going to set up one of my trail cameras now and just leave it there and see what happens. Well, you can see now how well that drop of rain's done for the garden. Absolutely brilliant. Everything's started to green up again. The spuds were starting to wilt off because it was so hot and dry. Drop of rain's brought them back up again. Brilliant. The broad beans is flowering, ready to go. The peas is flowering and coming up. Ideal. Runner beans, we've got carrots, parsnips. It's all starting to happen. Absolutely fantastic.
Okay, well that was really good to see the tadpoles are still in the pond and they're actually doing really well. And also to see that baby newt was absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to leave that trail camera over the pond now and see what happens over the next few days. But now it's time for me to revisit an old friend from last year.
Well, do you know, the last few weeks of me showing you the wildlife in the Tamar Valley has been absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Of course, we've seen so much. Seen the blue tits nesting up in the nest box at the garden. We had the tadpoles outside, which we put in the pond that we dug. I've seen the fox cubs. We saved the baby roe deer fawn from the mower in the long grass when Dad was cutting the silage field. Seen the barn owl, the peregrines and the peregrine chicks. I mean, who gets to see that? Absolutely brilliant. I was very lucky to see that. It's fantastic. But now I want to go back to something from last year that I managed to film, and it's got a good happy ending. And the reason I want to show you this is because this week I've seen 2 or 3 hedgehogs squatting the road, which has been a bit upsetting seeing they're in decline. But this is a happy story from last year when I came across Sonic the Hedgehog. So you have a look at this. Absolutely brilliant he was.
Well, they are. There's Sonic. Hello, Sonic. Now, the hedgehog was found outside the house in the front road. I got home from work and my mate next door, Derek, come in. He said, "Pete, you got your camera?" I said, "Why is that, mate?" He said, "There's a hedgehog outside in the road." So I went out. I seen him wandering around all over the place in the road. So I picked him up and put him in the egg bucket, believe it or not, because it's got straw in it, and brought him in. And he's looking a bit not very lively earlier. So what I've done is I've put him in the chicken shed here and put some water down and some cat food. He's had a good feed and now he's starting to wander around, so he's picked up his strength. You're looking alright, ain't you, fella, eh? So what I'm going to do later on is, once he's had a wander around in here and just settled down a bit and had a bit more food and that, I'll take him up the garden later when I do the chickens, when it's starting to get a bit darker, and I'll put him in the edge.
And then that way he can make his way off into the night and not be disturbed. But he's looking quite happy now. I was a bit concerned earlier when I first got over him. He's been in here an hour now, and I was a bit concerned because there was no life to him at all. He's just in the bucket, hardly moving. But now I put him in here, put some water down and some food, and he's wandering around all over the place. So that's all good news. So I'm very pleased. So we'll be releasing you in an hour or so, Sonic. Alright? You go back to the wild where you belong. Isn't it, eh? I don't really want to keep him overnight because there's nothing wrong with him. He looks happy enough. Moving around really well. He's eating and drinking. So I just wanted to take him off the road, or else he's going to end up getting squat. So that's the trouble. It's the only time you see a hedgehog usually is when he's squat. But I wasn't going to let that happen. So he'll cut the garden and go free. Well, there you are. Sonic's having a good feed. And that's chicken cat food. Chicken flavoured cat food. You can give him that or any other meat, but not fish based cat food or bread and milk, because it upsets their tummies. He's digging into that, loving it. That's brilliant. I've never seen a hedgehog do this before. He's just stopped it, but watch. You give him a bit of attention. Normally they curl up in a ball, but he actually looks for attention like a cat. Hello, Sonic. Yeah, look, watch. Hello, Hog. Hello. There, look. He goes into me finger, look. A little rub. Alright. Hello. You're pretty, aren't you? Normally when you get near a hedgehog like that, they curl up in a ball. Hello. He's having a sniff, look. Look, look, look. He leaned against me, he likes it. What's he doing then? Hey, he's curling in. Hello, my bird. Alright, you doing, my birdie? Yeah. Lovely, that is. Oh, he fell over. Be good then. Hey, lovely. Right, Sonic. Well, it's time to let Sonic go. I've come up to the shed again. I've been watching him for half an hour or so, and he seems to be running around in the shed all fine. He's had something to eat, something to drink. It's got dark outside now, so I'm going to take him up the garden and let him go. He seems quite happy, isn't you? Hey? Yeah. Having a sniff round? You alright? Right, it's time to get you up. There, here's that. Say cheerio, Sonic. Hey? Well, I've put a torch there, so hopefully you can see me alright. I'm up the garden. It's night time now. It's time to let Sonic the Hedgehog go. The hedgehog we found down in the estate earlier. So I'm looking forward to this. It's always nice to let the animals go. Very rewarding. Right, well, I'll set the torch up. And there's the bucket with Sonic in. I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to release him straight out. Come on, Sonic. Just let him go. Like that. Hey, here he goes. There you are. He's off. Brilliant. Snuffling already. He's having a good sniff. Get on in, Sonic. Well, that's a happy ending to the story. Sonic's gone off in the night with a belly full of worms and slugs. Absolutely brilliant. Now I've got to get off to bed myself. I've got to get up in the morning. I've got work. I can't stay here all night.
Well, that was a happy ending for Sonic, but there are far too many hedgehogs that are not so lucky. And things need to change. But now, it's time for me to go over the border near to Callington in Cornwall to see if I can see a bird of prey that I've wanted to film for a long time in the Tamar Valley. Right, okay, well I've come over to Cornwall today. I've come over to near Callington because a couple of my friends, Rod and Kev Pethick, have given me the heads up. There's a certain bird of prey hanging around Kit Hill, and that bird is a red kite. Now I've been trying to photograph and film a red kite for about 2 years now down around Devon and Cornwall on the border. Now you see them every now and then. I've seen them going over the village of Beerholston, but I've never managed to film or photograph one. So hopefully today I'll be able to get that shot. It's already looking promising. There's buzzards everywhere here, and I'm pretty sure there's red kites down over the valley, just down over the edge. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to get the camera, get out and see what I can get. Well, that's the buzzard. You can tell because of the tail pattern. It's still a beautiful bird to see. Oh, look at that for a wonderful sight. Look. Hey, that's a kestrel. Absolutely brilliant.
Right, okay. Now, although I've seen the buzzards in that kestrel, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm pretty sure I've just seen a red kite up over the top, over the other side of the road. There's a couple down the bottom, I think, but I can't quite see them to get a shot of, and they've gone down over the edge. But I'm going to try and get up the top where the tractor's just finished cutting the grass for silage. I'm going to get up there and sit and wait and see if I can get any results up there. I'm pretty sure, hopefully, they'll come along because they're scavenging birds. So hopefully, when the tractor's gone, I may get a chance for the red kite. Right, yeah, this is good. Okay, well the tractor's finished cutting and the birds is already on the way up to the field. So I'm just going to get out with the camera, stay in the gateway and just wait and see what happens. And fingers crossed, the kites will come up over and we'll get a good shot.
They are. Look, hey, there's the red kite. Absolutely fantastic. That's a beautiful bird to see. You can tell it's the red kite because of the forked tail. Fantastic.
But you know what? That was absolutely brilliant to see. Absolutely brilliant. I'm really pleased. Really pleased. I've been trying to see a red kite to film or photograph for about 2 years now, and today I've done it. It's absolutely brilliant. That was wonderful to see. I can go home now a happy man.